Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Cheyenne and Arapaho Productions podcast here. I'm your host, Darren Brown, senior content producer here at Cheyenne and Arapaho Productions. Today, I'm happy to have the Cheyenne and Arapaho Tribe's Department of Parks and Recreation here with us. And so we want to start with the director, and we'll just go around the table and introduce yourselves, guys.
He's actually the coordinator.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, he's my project coordinator.
Okay,
but,
well,
yeah.
Let's start here anyway. Whose show is this? No, I'm kidding.
Litefoot Hawkins, Parks Coordinator.
Yeah, my name's Sonny Redshin. I'm the executive director of Parks and Rec.
I'm Esther Aguilar,
What's your title, Esther?
admin assistant.
Yeah, there you go. And everybody's got a title, right? So, who wants us? Which one of you gentlemen want to start? Kind of give us an overview of what your department does.
Well, our department, we maintain a lot of our tribal properties. We also make sure our ERCs remain clean, stock, things like that. We do a lot of scheduling for our department, for a lot of other departments, I should say. We host a lot of events at our ERCs. They're all called the Emergency Response Centers. Really, we have 9 facilities that we
that's
maintain.
a lot.
Yeah, but we also, our program takes care of numerous. I think we have like 18 to 20 different areas within the tribe that we maintain.
So when we talk about it's not necessarily facilities. It's like, I mean, we're talking like the Powwow grounds too, right?
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
I'm talking about that. So we know what the ERCs are. They're basically the former community centers, and
Yeah.
since the pandemic, we got funds to refurbish them and I guess build some. And now they're called ERCs, Emergency Response Centers, which were used not very recently, right, as warming
Yes.
centers
Yeah,
when we
we
had that
just-
cold snap.
Yep.
But in addition, so besides the facilities, I can't say it. Besides the buildings, you have like so you have the Concho Powwow grounds, you have the Colony Powwow grounds, and so
We have Hammond. We have Canton. Let's see. We do have a list of different areas. We maintain the Clinton Trail, the Concho Trail, the Cultural Center, Colony Powwow Grounds, Concho Powwow Grounds, Canton Powwow Grounds, the Sundance Grounds in Concho, Sealing, and in Hammond. We also take care of our country club property over there at the Redlands Redlands College, sorry.
I was going to say
Clinton has a Redlands
I
Theater.
was going to
They
say
did.
we have a country club. Hey,
No,
how do you get to be a member of that thing, man?
There's a couple other properties that we do maintain. A lot of our ERCs are located in our tribal areas. Our farthest one up this way is Kingfisher. And then we got the Concho. We have Watonga, Canton, Sealing, Woodward, Fonda, Gary.
That's just
And then
there's
we
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm. And people don't think about that. I mean, I think it's like people are, tend to say things. I think when people just like with our program, when they see us doing stuff, they know, well, they do that, but they don't know what we do in our studio. Just like we may see you guys out, taking care of like a certain powwow grounds. Maybe, and then they think, well, that's all you do. Like, well, they may see you, doing stuff at an ERC, and they think that's all you do, but we know that's not true, right?
It's funny because the first 2 years that we had our program up and running, I spent numerous times defending our program and the use of and why we needed a Parks and Rec. So now I know that a lot of people do see what we do and how we help out and what our responsibilities are. And we have more of a grounds to stand on now.
Yeah.
Because, we don't only take care of these areas, we also do a lot of little projects that come directly from the chief of staff, the governor, different
Legislators.
programs, legislators. You know, a lot of them ask our programs to come in, step in, and help out, deliver tables, chairs, pick up.
Yeah, there's
you know.
a lot involved. A lot of behind, just like we say, it's truly behind the scenes stuff that
Yeah.
people don't really know. And so, Litefoot,
Yes, sir.
you're coordinator. So what's your role in this?
My role is mostly the daily part, getting our crews ready to go every morning, whatever jobs that need to be done. I sent them down to Colony today to pick up the brush, so when it's time to mow, there won't be nothing nothing out there.
You don't want to wait till the day before to start working on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was bad. That was always what happened in the past, especially when I was in there as a legislator. You know, I remember about a week and a half before Colony, we were rushing around trying to find some people to, you know, cut the grass,
Yeah.
try to make it look nice, and a lot of times it was just cut and left.
I'll keep
So
all the stickers right
Yeah,
there.
we got
man.
all piles of grass, everything, you know, still there. So with our program now, we concentrate on these areas, make sure we do the best we can. And I believe, in my opinion, we probably looking the best that we have in a long time.
Well, let's talk about the Colony Powwow grounds. I know, man, I haven't been out there since the new facilities were put in. I know that some of our staff has. I know. I think we went and got some drone video.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I saw it before, but well, the reason we did that, we said, look at these pictures, man, because I think you guys had just posted pictures on social media. I said, we got to get out there. So
Yeah.
But it's how did that all come about, and what kind of money was that? That's a big deal, right?
Yes. That came about by the governor and Sonny here working out an agreement that the more or less like the blueprints, and so they did that. You might talk to Sonny more
Okay.
about that.
Well, I know it's a high profile thing because you know even though Colony is not one of the largest powwows, it does draw a lot of people, and not just people from that area. You know, you never know who's going to show up at a powwow.
Yeah,
But
that's
you
right.
don't. What you don't want is people to come and go, God, when are they going to paint this place?
Yeah.
When are they going to fix this
You know,
place?
that's
but
exactly
now they
right.
come in and go, wow. You
Yep.
know, how can we get this? You know,
Yes.
let's talk about what a great project that was.
It was it was time consuming. It was very necessary. You know, our like you said, Colony isn't like the oldest, but it is one
Yeah,
of the
yeah, it's
older
got some
powwows
history.
here in Oklahoma. You know, and it what was up there was having to be excuse me, be fixed up every year. Like we was having to hurry up.
You're fighting a losing battle.
Yeah.
You're fighting an uphill battle, basically.
Yeah, and then you know, with the governor, we talked about a lot of different situations on what could be done, and we went around and found this company that was willing to come and, you know, it was basically the governor's idea of how he wanted it. So it turned out pretty good. Now, this past Colony, I would say it's probably been the biggest it's been in a long time.
Well, yeah, because people said, hey, you got to check out these new seating.
Yeah, really.
Check out the new seating and the new shades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think it makes just like I said, just from what I've seen, it appears to make a huge difference. And, you know,
It did.
when you want people to, obviously you leave the powwow and, you know, with good feelings anyway. And
Yeah.
this just, you know, you don't want people to say, well, it was a great powwow, but the place was, you know, need to be painted. No.
Yeah.
Now they got, you know, this is a really, it kind of like, it steps to the powwow, the site, lifts them up to the next level a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's
It
actually
makes the tribes look good.
we were supposed to be doing it in phases. This is the first phase,
Yeah.
which is the arena. Now there's a second phase that was supposed to happen, which is probably still going to happen, but it's kind of taking a little bit. It's building a bigger storage shed, which would hold a lot of like the economic developments,
Yeah.
equipment and stuff like that, but still be big enough to hold the powwow if we had to move indoors.
Wow.
Because one year we did have a powwow and it did rain. I believe it was something going on
Yeah.
weather-wise, and they moved it to Clinton ERC. And Clinton ERC is a decent-sized area, but the size of the powwow and the size of our dance arena just wasn't.
Yeah,
We was
yeah.
literally having to have some people in the hallway and then in the front of the building.
Yeah, people don't realize you've got to have a large area for the
Yeah.
dancers
Yeah.
and the drum, and really at that point the spectators become secondary.
Yeah.
But you don't want to leave them quite literally out in the rain.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
right.
So, well, let me ask you this, and this may be totally off base with this, but since Concho Powwow Grounds is right across the street, is that something we're looking at as well down the road?
Yes, we are looking. He was actually in talks with the governor about what could take place. Now, we've been in works with transportation. Transportation is going to do a lot of. They give us like 3 different ideas on putting more parking lots in there. With that means, the powwow grounds could be shifted back to the south,
I
to
see.
create a little bit more. I know they want to. I know he's been in contact with the legislators, so I don't know exactly how far out we are with that, but he might have a little bit.
But
Litefoot might have.
these things are exciting to talk about because the fact that the governor's bringing them up, the fact that these discussions are happening is really exciting, I think.
Yeah.
I'd like just to add is that, Colony was our second project. Our first project was Hammond. We were out there, the guys were out there cutting and, the grass, and one of them accidentally backed up and hit one of the arbors, and the arbor just fell over.
Oh,
That it was all rotten on the bottom. So that was more like a safety issue.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of a blessing in disguise.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And that's where we first started our project on our powwow grounds.
So we're talking about the Red Moon.
yeah.
Red Moon Powwow.
Yes.
That was our first project, and from that over to Concho. But Red Moon was really in bad shape back then too, and this is quite an upgrade to it. So, like you say, I got a few drawings that I want to present to the legislators or the governor, whoever it may be, but I need to know about what they want. Do they want wood? Do they want metal? How big do they want it? I need to know these things so I can get with an architect and
Yeah.
develop it.
Well, on the admin side, so these guys are they're tossing out. We got plans and
They're doing
discussions.
good.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's so we're talking about. We got plans and drawings, blah blah blah. That's where you come in, right? You got to kind of coordinate these things with these guys. Talk about that.
Yeah, they come in, they give me their ideas, and then we go from there. Like looking, like we got to have this person, we got to have that person, and we, they'll throw out names. My thing is I'll call housing and be like, okay, girl, who do you use? We reach out to other people to see, who they use, especially like we live in Clinton. There ain't that many people out there. I mean, it's I know I call a lot on housing because, they know everybody.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, Litefoot will find the people and, Sonny, we all know the people around. So we all get together and they'll throw names out and then we'll contact them. I contact them and then we'll get the amounts and, we work at, okay, what do you think about this person? What do you think? We all throw in our 2 cents when it comes to finding these people.
And that 2 cents becomes about $2 million later on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does.
Hold on.
It really does.
Oh, hold on. That's what I was trying to say. Okay. Well, let's just. So there's so many things. Since we're talking about big projects, I mean, I'm just asking: is there one right out there, either real or imagined, that you guys would like to see happen? I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Is there anything where, I mean, where just, maybe there's stuff you can't talk about, I don't know, but what would you like to see as a department? What would you like to, what kind of project would you like to dream that you see it happen?
I would like to see a lot of our powwow grounds get finished out, get to where I think that, you know, we could draw in bigger crowds and draw in a lot more, you know, people to our events. Our ERCs, we are booked. I mean, the schedules change.
Is that right?
It changes like day by day, possibly even hour by hour. You know, we could send we work with a lot of different programs, and a lot of our caretakers, she sends out the schedule weekly.
Mm-hmm.
She'll do it at 9 o'clock, and then at 11, there'll be 3 or 4 more events that she has to say, oh, hold up. Now we got to add this. We got to add that.
Well, I'll tell you, I would hate to see you guys build a brand new building and then no one use it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think it's cool that that is being used. I mean, that's got to make you guys feel good.
One thing I noticed this year is that a lot of the programs are doing the outreaches for, they're actually getting back out. So now we're getting their schedules till like the end of the year, some programs.
Oh, wow. No kidding.
Yeah. There's like a lot of people will call and schedule a dance for next year. You know, they'll call and,
Save the date.
Yeah, they'll be like, graduation. We're having a graduation event,
Graduation
you know,
is already-
birthday.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that it's secure. You know, and as long as they do the proper steps on securing, which means putting up their deposit and everything like that, you know, our ERCs are free to our tribal members, but they just require a deposit, you know, and we do that because we want to make sure that they take care of our buildings the way they should, so they'll last a long time.
Is that a refundable deposit after
It,
the
it
event?
definitely is refundable. We've had a couple.
Unless they really mess something up, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was just getting to. Now, we've had a couple that we had to.
It has to be said. Y'all act like adults now.
Yeah. You know, we had a little instance where our whole countertop fell down from some people that shouldn't have been on there, you know, and we had to tell them, you know, no matter what, we have to keep that, even though that deposit ain't even a fraction of what it would cover to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we still have to do what we have to do. And that's what I don't think a lot of people understand is, you know, that deposit isn't even, not even the material, much less the labor hours.
But it's something that you guys have to have.
Yeah, definitely.
So y'all get your deposit in.
Yeah.
Let's hear that one more time. Okay, thank you. Okay.
One of the projects I'd like to see is cantonment, working around the lake.
Yeah, I've heard. I don't mean to jump in. I know about this much about that. I mean, as I understand it, way back in the day, it was there was a lot of cool stuff happening, and as I understand it, kind of like you know, when it got neglected, I suppose. But there are, I guess. So yeah. Tell me about your dreams there.
My dream, well, right now, I would just like to have a little dock out there, a fishing dock, and maybe right now, just maybe 3 or 4 picnic tables or little arbors out there where people can have picnics and have cookouts. Just something that would be immediately.
Something to see how well it works.
Yeah.
What kind of feedback and what kind of response?
Yeah, the past few years, there has been talks of different plans.
Yeah.
But it's been 3 years already, you know, and nothing's really happening. It's kind of, we don't know.
I suppose, I mean, you know, we're not that far away. We're not that far removed from the pandemic. So I'm assuming that took whatever discussions probably took a seat way in the back.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, ERCs obviously take priority over that. But that's something I hadn't heard discussed in a while.
Yeah, I think the last time I heard it discussed was at the governor's meetings, as they were talking about proposals and stuff like that, what they would do over there. So hopefully they get that going, you know, and we got ideas for that area, you know. One of the things that I was like to see is us building a gate to the entrance, a booth, you know.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And tribal members wouldn't have to pay. But, you know, we get charged when we go to the other side. So, you know, I think that's one of the things that we should be able to do is charge non-tribal too. It don't have to be the cost that we have to pay to theirs, but something in that realm. Another thing, that abandoned school, I'd like to turn that into possible gift shop or something. Do something with that stuff that's already out there, you know.
I forgot about that. That's been there.
yeah.
How old is that thing?
Quite.
Isn't it like
old.
isn't it like literally 100 years old?
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's old.
Yeah.
And it can still be used.
I mean,
you
I'm
know?
sure that would take a lot of work, but yeah, you hate to see something like that torn down, or totally. Well, I was going to say you hate to see it fall into disrepair, but it already has, and it has been for years. But
Yeah.
it seems the right thing to do to try to
Yeah.
rehabilitate places like that.
Yeah, I'd like to even put that RV parking back over there, you know, and something until we can get a concrete idea of what we're going to do to that. Let's start doing other things real quick that we can, you know, upgrading that electrical so we can have RV parking, something to do for the kids, have a playground there, you know, something that's going to bring our people back over there.
Well, what are you guys working on right now?
Right now, we are in talks of one of the things that I'm trying to do is I'm looking in. I didn't even bring it, but I'm looking into seeing what the cost would be for some of these ERCs to have a basketball court placed on the outside. You know, that new Gary ERC has a basketball court inside. You know, it's got a scoreboard, everything, but outside, I believe that some of our ERCs are big enough and capable enough to hold a basketball court, half court, full court, whatever. So that's what I was looking at. We was looking at some grants, me and one of my workers. So hopefully we can get something going there.
I'm working on some lighting for the NAC building for the governor. He wants some lights for the outside of it. So
Yeah, I think that's
for
needed.
Yeah.
I've always kind of thought that because there's a lot of times there's there are TP meetings, you know,
Yeah.
and, held outside there. Not, I always made sense to me.
Yeah, we want to put the lights out there where they have a switch inside. So once they do go in the TP, they can hit the switch and the lights will go off. Or if needed, they can turn them right back on again. And another thing is down there at the Powwow grounds. Last year, one of the wires came loose of the electrical lights.
Wow.
And there was a temporary fix to it at that time. So we're trying to get that
Wow.
fixed.
I'm glad I wasn't around for that. I'm just telling you, man. I worked at a TV station one time, and I was around when that happened, and it was not fun. The guy I know grabbed a fire extinguisher and put out it fell down and caused a grass fire, and a friend of mine grabbed the fire extinguisher and put it out, and the fire department came. They cussed him out because he said he got too close. He's like, "You want me to just sit there and let it burn?" So anyway, yeah. Let's just stay away from that. Duct tape is not the answer for stuff like
That's
that.
right. That's right.
So again, these guys keep talking. I can see your eyes glossing over here.
I'm just like, yeah, they said that.
Okay. Well, let's. I know that we talked about it at the front, and we got a little ways in. What what kind of staff do you guys have? Because I know that every time I've been to an ERC, there's either someone there or there's someone who is on the way there, and I'm like, that's this guy. Wait till the guy gets, or whoever, or maybe it's a woman. Whoever's there. It's like, hey, there's got to be somebody there who will unlock stuff, and someone who can help us work the projector there or the sound system, or so. What kind of staff is there?
Caretakers.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
we have caretakers for all of our buildings. Most of our caretakers are part-time caretakers.
Live in that community,
yes,
right?
Yeah, and they do live in that community. They are responsible for being there during the duration of that event. opening that event, making sure it's set up, and making sure that it's clean the way it's supposed to at the end of every event. We want to make sure that all of our facilities have that person that's capable
Yeah.
of making it. And some of these guys have been working with the tribe for a long time. So,
Did you say you had, well, how many people is that? 9?
9?
Okay.
9 caretakers, I believe. Or do we might have 8 caretakers.
Anyway,
But
okay.
yeah. Yeah, we try to make sure that, them guys are responsible for a lot of things. Our guys make sure that the people are abiding by the rules, as best as they can. We encourage all the parents, everybody, to watch their children.
Now, there's an idea.
Yeah.
Because
Nah,
I
we've all
stress
been
it.
kids, man.
Yeah.
Hey.
we got to make sure that and it's fortunate that Clinton
Clinton has a playground.
Has a playground, so
Yeah.
we got that right there.
Let me ask
going.
you that. Is that something that you guys look at for other
Yes,
EFCs?
yes, that goes along with the basketball courts that I would love to see in to the places that are big enough. Like I think when I was looking up, I seen Woodward is big enough. Hammond is big enough. Kingfisher is big enough, but like our areas in Concho, the old Gary Community Hall wasn't, but the new one, it is. I think the tribe bought the whole block, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would love to see that. I know there was talks in the beginning with the governor that he was wanting something like that put in, and then everything just comes down to funding.
No.
Where's the funding gonna come from? Because
Again, that's a whole lot of meat pies.
you ain't lying.
Oh, well, couldn't find my sound effect.
Yeah.
I'll fall asleep on the job over here. No, that's a whole lot of meat pies, a whole lot of Enden tacos.
Yeah, that's right. But man, we stay pretty busy. A lot of us stay, busy with all our activities right now. Right now is our slow time, which we have a lot of our guys going back over our areas, and then we have a lot of them chopping wood, and what we try to do is we try to distribute that to our elders first and others after that. But, our elders take precedence and priority over everybody else's right now.
You said it's slow time. When does it crank up? When is a busy time?
Oh, man.
March. It starts.
March.
Oh, not far.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
start
Another few weeks and y'all are
Yeah.
in it,
their
huh?
equipment ready. And
Yep. In a lot of our powwow areas, man, the first 2 years we spent trying to get them sprayed and maintained.
Yeah.
And people didn't understand that we're talking $7,000 to $8,000 to $9,000 a spray.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they want them sprayed 2 or 3 times a year. That's what the company wanted, and I was like, hold up, maybe we can just get a good spray and then we'll maintain it. No,
Well,
no.
You guys need 25 treatments a season.
Yeah, for real. And you're talking, what, four powwow areas?
Yeah.
And each of them are different prices because they're different sizes.
Yeah.
So you're not getting one price for every one of them. And I don't think a lot of people understood, and I still don't think people understand, why our budget was the way it was, because we took care of a lot of our own costs. We took care of a lot of our own sprays, our own materials. We didn't go through the other channels. So
Yeah.
they thought we just had a budget that was just buying this and buying that. And
They're
it
showing
was-
up like,
yeah.
how come you doesn't look like San Manuel powwow out here? Hey, how come we don't have that like pretty putting green
for
arena,
real.
man?
Yeah.
Well, I because I've heard people say stuff like that. I may have said something like that myself before.
Yeah.
Even though
everybody.
I don't dance,
And I give
but I'm just-
that to everybody, because until you know or you come up and ask, then you're gonna make any assumption you want. And I spent, like I said, the first 2 years defending our program, why we were here, why it's needed, and now I can actually sit back and hear everybody say, oh, well, we see what you do now. We see how much responsibility y'all have. You know what I don't give credit to is these ladies that are in the background. They're scheduling. They're putting up with nice and not so nice people.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I think I've ran into some of those people.
yeah. And you know, the things that they do that we don't talk about, that they don't get credit for, and she don't want credit for anything. We be trying to, oh no, come on, you need no. I'm like, no, you need to be recognized, you know, because they do a lot. They do a lot of scheduling. Last year I had a number on our events. We had 583
Yeah, it was
events.
over 500.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I really thought you said 300 something. I said that probably sounds about right.
No, we have 583.
Yeah,
And
it's over 500.
this is just the second month, and we've already had 33 events right now.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's just, like I said, like you said, it's a slow time right now.
yeah, and
baby.
this is slow.
And just seeing now all the programs since COVID's over,
Yeah.
they're getting out there again.
Well, and just, I've been in meetings just recently. We talk about one of the most important, if not the most important things that the tribes does is provide direct services. And if you're doing that, then it's all about, community outreach. And, I think the pandemic took a toll on that stuff. I don't have the numbers, written down anywhere, but I've seen it before. In the past, you may have an outreach. You may have, maybe you had 100 people show up over the 4 or 5 hours you were there, and now it was at least cut in half, and it's slowly starting to come back. But I think one of the things is, and the person in this meeting was talking about, you have to be, you want to be a good steward of your resources, and i.e. the finances, the money that you're spending to provide. I mean, you don't want to have, you can't go out with $5,000 worth of resources and 20 people show up, and then maybe a couple 300 with that you was providing lunch, and what do you do? So it's about being efficient, I think, with the resources and realizing the fact that I think we're not even back to probably pre-pandemic levels of participation in the communities.
Yeah.
And I don't. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
But I think the things that each and every program here does that is visible in the communities they serve only helps to keep this ball rolling.
Yeah.
So I think the more that people see you guys doing your thing, and the more they see diabetes, and more they see the mobile thing, the mobile, the moo they call it, the mobile medical unit.
Yeah.
The more they see that, and then once they see the services that are there, I think people, obviously you're still going to have people you have to transport, but it's all about ideally, serving the needs of all the communities we serve, and that takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of footwork, man, and a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like sometimes I'll take my calendar book home on the weekend because I get calls.
Wow. Yeah.
What's going on this weekend? I'm like, I don't know.
Let me look real quick.
Wait.
Oh, speaking of that, we mentioned off the top here, since the ERCs were built with as emergency response centers. So, explain what that is and how they can be used, and they can. They were built in direct response to COVID-19, and so what can they, and how are they been used lately, most recently?
Well, our centers were the first intent was to make sure we had a place to take anybody
Who could isolate.
Yes, and during these any kind of natural disaster and the COVID, we wanted to make sure that we worked directly with emergency medical emergency management. But it right there, it's meant for, I guess, like you said, a place where they could isolate. But, I think we should have had a couple more little items added to them buildings, like a ventilation system and stuff like that. But, we actually, let me see, we probably did it about eight times already. We've had these little winter storm, and we've had to take in a couple people, and we have, what do we got? Cots, blankets, pillows. We try to keep a little bit of canned goods, but, other than that, we try to. We're not a shelter. We don't want to get that mixed up.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I think it's in the name, emergency response, and this is first people who have. Let's just say that the place got flooded, and they can't afford to. I mean, who can afford to stay at a hotel for any length of time? I'm just saying this is to get you over the hump. Get you through. Get right?
No.
Okay.
Say the town flooded, not the.
I got you. Okay.
Because
thank you.
In a house, they can call our Hope Social Service, and they could do that. Now, we're talking a bigger disaster where
I got you.
Towns flood, tornado, a big fire, things like that. That right there is when we open up and try to help and do our best.
So it's a community-based thing.
Yes, and we want to make sure that we're not passing out the wrong information, saying anytime that you can't pay your electric or anything, let's get that out there.
We're
going to house you, because we don't have the people for that.
Yeah.
In that situation, you would require 24-hour watch and stuff like that. We don't want to do that. We're not capable of that. We don't train our caretakers, in a sense, are maintenance workers.
Yeah.
I want to get that out there, because, we think caretakers that they're supposed to come and, take care of the people.
It's not a caretaker in that sense.
Yeah, and not in that sense. They take care of the building. But we're basically maintenance workers with a step up on a little bit of training. Yeah. So that's kind of where I want to clear it up.
Okay. Thank you. So where I misspoke is what we're talking. These ERCs are more of a community based. Like I guess so. We had the coal thing not that long ago. So they were used as warming centers, right?
Yes.
And how does that work? Is there is that? I say that we had freezing. Well, we did have literally freezing weather for a total of 7 days.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well,
I mean, from your guys' end.
In that situation, we did open up. We did allow them. We made sure our caretakers went in there and checked on them periodically, but they also were able to stay overnight and things like that. Some of our areas are equipped with showers, laundry, washer dryer, but
it's not meant to be a long-term thing at all.
No, it's all temporary. It's all pretty much natural disaster type.
Thank you.
Situations.
Okay. Well, did we get that right, Litefoot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, the last thing we want to do is put out check out this word, erroneous information.
Oh, shoot.
Oh.
That's a new one right there.
No, we just want to be accurate and get the proper information out. So I thank you for clearing that up for me. Okay. Man, where do we go now? I know there's so much stuff. I know you guys. I asked you about your dream project. Oh, I didn't ask you over here. What's your dream project for this apartment?
They have a lot going on.
They can't even afford to go there. Right?
Yeah, it's just.
Let me ask you this. I know that one of the things you mentioned, the trails, the Clinton trails earlier. That was a year and a half ago. I don't remember. 2 years ago. What kind of feedback have you gotten on projects like that in Colony?
Well, on Colony, we've got a lot of good feedback on that.
I am sure, yeah.
And what we're working on is our downer at Colony is on the west side of Colony. There's an old cemetery up there, and there's graves on there. I did a video of it at first, what it looked like and what it's done now. We cleared out a lot of that area along with Daryl Flyman and his little crew, and EPA helped us, and fire management helped us, and it looks a whole lot different now. So that up there, I think that we got a lot of good feedback on.
Nice. What about the trails?
The trails in Clinton and the trail
In Clinton?
and Clinton. The trail in Clinton, it's coming along good, man. We try to maintain it and keep it cleared of all debris and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we did have a pretty torrential rainfall about a year ago.
Okay.
And it did separate some of the rock from them bridges and kind of just threw it out, way out all under.
Wow.
And it caused a little bit of damage to them bridges. So, unfortunately, we haven't had anybody come in and fix it yet. So some of our trail is blocked off. The bridges are blocked off right now. We are working with the roads program, and hopefully they'll get in there and get something done within the year. I have spoke with a gentleman, and he told me that, they are working on some stuff to get another grant to possibly fix that. So we got some work going on over there. But when it first opened before that rain, man, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Them bridges, they were awesome. And just takes a little bit more work on there, and then we'll get it up and running fully. And then Concho, that's more of a Litefoot. He might know more about that one.
I would really like to see some asphalt out there.
Where is this?
On the walking trail down here.
Okay. You mean towards the Buffalo?
No,
but
down by the Powwow grounds.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got you.
there's a trail right
The
there.
springs over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that area over there is, it's so beautiful out there. The walking trail over there. And the BIA did a real good job with fire management of clearing some of them non-native trees out of there. It's starting to look really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried. I wanted to do a little dam over there, so all the Caddo Springs water will build up. I put in beavers down there, but they didn't last long. I thought I'd do it naturally.
Yeah. Well, that's a great idea.
And so the beavers left. But anyway, that's what would really look good over there is to block off, make a dam over there, and we could have our own pond there with crystal clear water.
Hey.
Yeah. And stock it, and people can go fish. Yeah. But that Concho Walking Trail is really nice back in there, back by the old school. And I would like sometimes y'all go back there and film at the old school and have some of the old people tell you all about where all the old buildings were.
Now, that would be kind of cool.
Before everybody forgets about that school over there, being over there.
Well, let me ask you, when was that that school? Do you know when it was? What the operating years for that old school?
Oh, that was back at least in
Was it early 1900s?
yes.
But it was closed probably, what, in the 60s maybe, or before that?
Yeah, it was closed in around maybe 66, 65, something.
And that's
like
when the one over here opened.
Yeah, the one
And then
over
closed
here.
in the, what, early 80s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I still remember some of the old places over there where the gym used to be at, the boys' dorm, the girls' dorm, their kitchen area over there.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have the tribal council meeting over there, and that was quite something back in the 50s.
Wow. Man. Well, see, what's funny is I always bring in people on these podcasts, and they go, well, how long are we going to talk? I said, as long as you want. Because the funny thing is once we start talking, then you go, oh, let me talk about this too. When I think of a question, I go, oh, tell me about that. And so, like I said, and every time we finish, then I'm like, oh, I was going to ask you that, or somebody thinks I was going to talk about. But that's the great thing is that as we kind of wind this down, when you have more stuff happening, you guys could come back in and do another one of these. Hey, oh, excuse me, he's back. Well,
Sorry about that.
So Sonny, we're just kind of wrapping this up here, but I just want to give everyone a chance to. Is there anything we missed that you guys want to make sure we get across today? Because obviously, you're more than welcome to come back at some point when you got more stuff happening. But we just want to make sure if there's anything that you wanted to get across to the folks, about the program and what you do and what you don't do.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get the correct info out. I just want to make sure you all had that chance before we wrap up.
I'd just like to mention about some of our
sure.
staff out there that
Okay.
do the work. We gave them first aid training and CPR training, defensive driving, and HASWAP, and OSHA training, chainsaw maintenance and safety training, and active shooter training, and pesticide training, and all these were free. We didn't have to.
Now that right there deserves one of these. Yeah. See?
Just mentioned our young employees that do out there every day working
Yeah.
their best.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like people. You can serve in there are so many ways you can serve. Your tribes and your communities, and you don't have to be sitting in an office wearing a 3-piece suit, man. You
Yeah,
can do it.
that's
You
right.
can do it with a shovel in your hand, baby.
Yeah. I always told my guys, I won't ask you to do something that I wouldn't do.
Hey,
Now
I'm glad you
and
said that.
I do. I get out there. I work with them just to let them know that, I'll do what you do. I ain't above none of that. I work my way up to get where I believe I'm at right now, And it was a long road, but it was well worth it. I don't have no complaints about how I got here and this and that, but I like to give a recognition to our group, our crews, man. They
Guys,
they do a
that's
job.
just for you all.
They do a job. They're in there busting tail.
Hold on,
It'll
we
be-
got one more.
Yeah.
This is the one I was looking for.
Oh,
That's more appropriate.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have six members. We have 2 crews, one in Concho, one in Clinton. And man, they're in there day in, day out.
Well, thank you all for what you do. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. They really care about our tribe, our areas. You got to have people like that when you work with something like that, because you can get somebody in there. It's just a job, No.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
These guys that
I know what you're
we
talking
have
about.
over here, man. They're dedicated. They're
Right.
gung ho. If you ask them to do something, they'll do it. And it's just because they take pride in what they do, And I don't let them go, unnoticed. I always tell them that I'm proud of what they do, and I see what they're doing, even though a lot of other people don't. So I like to give them a little recognition because they're in there 5 days a week. Sometimes, they'll be in there a little bit longer, and got to show recognition where it's deserved.
Well, I don't think that we can top that, man, because that's what it's all about. You got to have folks who care, otherwise the job doesn't get done, and it certainly doesn't get done right. So I want to thank the Cheyenne and Arapaho Tribes Parks and Recreation Department. Thank you all for being here today,
We appreciate it.
and you all be sure to join us soon for another episode of the Cheyenne and Arapaho Productions podcast. We'll see you then.